What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Poolside Chat. We're going to continue on with a VNEA tournament I was in just a couple weekends ago. I am playing in a singles 8-ball event, and if you didn't watch the last video, you need to go back check it out. It's a pretty good one. But you know what? Let's just kind of get out of the way here a little bit. That's a snail. We're going to be playing Ron, and let me tell you, let's get excited. Yes, sir. We are going to be playing Ron. And, already starting out with a miscue on a little stabby draw shot. Hope that continues. So we did the flip. This is a 8-ball, short race to 3, as you can see down here. This is the intermediate, which means there's 4 divisions. You have regular, you have advanced, intermediate, and then masters. Masters being the biggest and the best. You can only move up in divisions when you've done well in previous tournaments. But on the same token, if you have played 3 years and you have not at least cashed or at least made a certain limit, wherever they put that, I can't remember, then they will move you down a division. So don't always know who you're going to get. And, especially when you're in a regular or advanced, man, you might run up against a guy that's like a 650, 675 Fargo. Who knows? Just because they haven't been there. But then you're probably going to run in a whole bunch of 300 and 400 Fargos. So, at least when you get up to like intermediate, you kind of have an idea you're playing better people. But anyway, let's get right into this. Like I said, we're playing Ron. He's a preliminary Fargo because I think he literally had like 8 on there for robustness. Kind of ridiculous. He's way, way better than a 400, not going to lie. But he broke, left me probably less than nothing. And so I try to back bank. So I gotta say, and you've already noticed, I'm speeding this video up. I made a comment. Yes, I had to put a snail on here because he walks around the table perfectly fine, but he's fast. He's perfectly normal. He just takes forever to actually play. Look at that. I'm like, he walked around 4 different times, finally gets down. All right, now we're going to go ahead and shoot solids. So I didn't do this on every shot, but I kind of had to on almost every shot. It's a little bad. You'll see here. I don't remember. I think it's rack 3. So Ron took solids. And I think actually I left this one just kind of give you an idea. Just, it's bad enough, and I'm just gonna beat this to the punch because you'll see it later when I'm kind of walking around. I eventually have to go get the referees because slow play is considered unsportsmanlike. Like there's a point when you're just doing it just because. And I grab the ref, ask what the rule is. First, you have to tell your opponent that they're doing it. Then you have to go, if they continue to it, then you go grab the ref, have them watch. I did actually tell Ron after 2nd or 3rd rack, I think it was 3rd rack, like, man, you need to speed up. And he's like, oh, I'm an old man. I'm not fast like you. And I'm like, no, that's not true. That's not true. He definitely moves around. He's doing fine. He's just, I think he's intentionally doing it. He says he's not. But I go grab the refs eventually. And because there's only really like 2 or 3 refs and there's 80, 90 tables, like they're busy, they're running around. They can't just sit here and watch one table. So it was kind of a moot point, but it is what it is. I think he was actually trying to bump into, I think that's is that the 12 ball? I think that's a 12 there. I think he was trying to bump into the 12 to leave himself the 6. But he did get, I think he got a little lucky here because I think he can see the 1 ball. And if that's the case, you just roll the 1 ball up gently to leave yourself an angle on the 2. And then you can, as long as you have an angle, like almost do a stop shot here. But he's going to go underneath. Still, same principle applies. You want to make sure you've got enough angle that you can make the ball and get that cue ball. You need to get up somewhere near that second diamond line, and that's going to leave you that 6 into that right middle. Sorry, thought my phone was making a noise. So this is more about speed control. I mean, it's not a give me shot, but it's not incredibly hard. Ooh, and look at that. I mean, almost completely perfect. Maybe a quarter ball less. Like, that's pretty darn good leave if that's the case. And that's where and I should also point out, kind of like I did in the last video, these are not your standard bar height tables. They're more of just your standard 6 foot low kind of normal table you'd be eating on or whatever. So I'm using my tripod with my gimbal like I always do. I've got it as high as I can, but it's just not the same angle as when I'm in the bars and you can see a little bit better bird's eye view. So just like that, I say just like that, we're already 5 minutes into a rather sped up match, and he dry broke. I missed one ball, and he essentially table ran, or ERO as they say in VNE8. That's every ball run out or something like that. Okay, so it is open after the break with these rule set. There's a couple variances compared to like USAPL or BCA, but one of them being that the 8 ball is actually neutral right off the break. So if you needed to hit the 8 ball into another ball, that is legal. Once you solidify one side, can't do that. See, and this is where I need to be taking my time. I need to kind of walk around a little bit, clean the tables. Because I need to walk around and just double check, make sure I know where I'm trying to leave it. Like I see I glanced at it right there, but oof. Oh boy. I can't. Am I gonna have to play a 4-7 combo, or can I get around the 4, just see the 7? Because even if I do, I'm probably gonna just stop shot and then still play that 4-2. Okay, so I could see the 7, but yeah, like I said, now I gotta do a 4-2 combo. We're actually playing on the far end of the row of tables. That's why you're not seeing about anything over yonder. But over the other side, there was a table there, and they're spaced quite a bit. But every once in a while, somebody's kind of, queuing off a rail. They get kind of far. You still give them room like you do in a bar. Now, this is tricky because you got to make this combo, but then, yeah, you got to get that 4 ball out enough to be able to see. You don't want to just baby that and then get the 4 behind the 12, leave yourself nothing. So you gotta just punch it, get that 4 ball out. Now you can slow roll it to the side. I'm electing to go all the way down. I mean, again, camera's playing tricks on me. I like the side, but something about it when I was down on the shot, I preferred the corner. Oh, and I hit that way too thick. I was only like a diamond and a half off. Ugh. So yeah, that's the thing. Going to the corner had more angle, which means a cue ball is it's gonna be harder to hold it for that 8 ball. So I don't know. Probably should just slow rolled it in the side. Just that would have been a lot easier. If I remember correct, I think he just called safe. Yeah. Built himself a nice wall there, didn't he? 4 ball does go on the top left, but even then, what are you really doing with that 8 ball? Maybe I should have sped this part up. I don't know what I'm doing. I bet I'm probably just getting my my jump cue out just because I don't always I don't always have it out even when it's an option, just because you don't jump a whole lot. So so just out of curiosity, if anybody's looking for a jump cue, I'm gonna do a little self promotion. I do have the brand new Fettergorst Hyper Jump from Viking or Triple 60. I do have one available for sale. Only been test hit. It's got a little chalk on the tip. Otherwise, brand new. In a box, ready to roll. If anybody's interested, I'm contemplating even selling Big Red over here. Oh, that was a good jump. Look at that. Even left the 8-ball. Dang it. But I'm considering selling Big Red there because I've got another option that very, very possibly is coming soon. I was looking for a good carbon jump cue. I got a couple. Let me know. Anybody's looking for a good cue? I also have a How cue for sale with a 11.8 carbon, or excuse me, 11.8 wood shaft or the 12.5 carbon. All How branded. Brand new refinished cue, brand new leather. Very good looking cue. Going another direction though. Got an idea. But anyway, self-promotion over for now. So it looks like he's going to be taking the 12 ball. Oh, he's turning. Let's take that 10 in the right middle. Maybe? Maybe he's just checking his angle, like what he wants to do. Yeah, okay, so we are going for the 10. Little nudge on the 15. Oh. Woo. Where's the luck on that one? You know, he's got a thin cut on the 12. I think if you could put, you might need just a little bit of right, which, guys, I am terrible at this. Probably need just a little bit of right. Might be able to get over and break that 11-15 open if you need. Okay. Back to the speed up. I mean, you can cut that 11, but don't know if I would do that yet. I'd almost take the 14 to this low left and then try to break that 15 open because that 11, unless you're behind the 4, you can make that from anywhere. Because this is when you got a real thin shot like this, yes, you can make it, but you got to put enough power on the cue ball that's harder to really control where it's going. And I am springboarded at the table. 4 goes by, but and I can't really see the 4 full. I can only see it almost enough to make it. Because I remember that 8-ball being kind of in the way. So it's real tough to play a safe the where he's at. Or where he's at, I should say. Ooh, a little thick. I remember this. I remember this rack. All right. So now his 15 is rather hooked. I honestly don't even know what he's looking at because for where he's at, I mean, you have to play safe. There's no real shot that you're going to make. You know, you're going to swing at a low percentage shot. Like, let's say you back bank the 11 to the top left. Cue ball is going to run into the 14. You might get lucky that either the cue or the 14 crash into that trio, but why? Like what are you really advancing? Like you're swinging on a hope and a prayer. The only thing he did not take into account is that this isn't that hard of a shot. As long as you know how to jump, this the 4 ball is wired to the 15. So you see, I had to look at it there. I want to make sure that when I jump this, run into the 4, which is obviously hitting pretty hard, I need to make sure that 15-8 wasn't going to automatically drop the 8, because if so, well, now I got a bigger problem. But really, all I gotta do is just jump, hit this 4 to almost any capacity, and it's gonna go. And that's why I looked at it, because that 8 ball wasn't wired to go really near the pocket. I was like a diamond and a half off. So that's a pretty fun shot, let alone to leave yourself an easily cut 8. I had to pause, make sure I didn't overspeak myself. But yeah, that was a good one. 1-1 on a race to 3. All right. Okay, start the clock. So this is the part that I by this point I was already really frustrated, because he is astronomically taking his time. I sped this up something like 7 or 8 times speed. It was just shy of 4 minutes from when all balls stopped before he finally got down to shoot, excuse me. And I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what you're doing. Don't get me wrong, he's a crazy good shot. My biggest problem is, look where he grips the cue. His arm is already so far bent that, like, and he's been doing it for ages, clearly. And this is just the mechanics he's taught himself that is now his muscle memory. Man, you're making yourself work so much harder versus just move your hand back. I mean, honestly, damn near a foot. Maybe not that much, but 4 to 6 inches back to where your elbow's at that 90, and then you have more swing. That was a good shot. He even nudged the 5 ball to where now it's makeable. Only problem is it's still a fairly thin shot. And like I mentioned the last video, this looks pretty good. It felt a little fuzzy, so it ran really quick, but once the balls started to slow down, it just felt like they put on the brakes, so it could run really fast, and the next thing you know, and just stop. So it made speed control very, very difficult, at least for me, because this is not anything like what I'm used to. So like kicking in the background. All right. Good cut. Unfortunately, moved the 7 into a bad spot. And that looks like it. I mean, if the 7 goes, like if it could split that 12-8, you can just roll forward and you're out. But if it doesn't go, which I can't tell. It's the wrong angle to really see it. But if it doesn't, you got to go into the 2 ball, put some low. You want to actually try to crash into the 7, like pull back into the 7. If you just hit the 12, you could potentially leave yourself a whole lot of nothing. And that's basically exactly what he did. It does go one way. But my goodness, does he have to hit paper thin? So you can see me. I had to step over the side. Like, does this even go? Like, and the cue ball just barely got out of the way. It's long, but he's got to look. He's got to look for the break and run. Center pocket. I had to have a little fun with it. I had to because it was a good break and run. He left himself a whole lot of hard shots and he executed great, but I mean, for a break and run, it shouldn't take you damn near 11 minutes. I'm sorry. You're never going to convince me that it should take 11 minutes to run a rack. That is intentional. I sound like a bitter ex-girlfriend because I'm bringing it up so much. I know. But yeah, come on, man. Let's go. Because my problem is it irritates me because now I feel like I need to rush. I don't know why. There's no time limit. I'm not playing Ultimate Pool. But for some reason, you shooting slow makes me shoot fast because I don't want to run a 2-hour match or something crazy like, an APA. And I know you guys, I'm sure, at least I hope you haven't, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen an hour and 45, 2-hour match in APA, you know, not the worst, but one of the worst. I remember I was playing in a tri-cup or triannual as they call it now. And my buddy Damon had a match which you're capped at 3 hours and 45 minutes to get to sudden death. He was in 2 hours and 15 minutes to win a hill match. And he was like, but I won. And I'm like, that was our first match, brother. Like, now you just forced 2, if not possibly 3 games to go into sudden death. And I'd rather you just lose 2-0 and let's just move on. Anyway, soapbox over. I'm trying to answer breaking run. I got to get this bank and hold that cue ball as close to the rail. You got to make it. Step 1, make the bank. Because now he is open. So he's going to start with the 4, probably just pull back. Oh, never mind. I was going to say pull back just a little and then go ahead and take care of that 2-3 down here before heading up table. But he smashed that for some reason. Not sure if that was his intention. So I'm assuming 1-7 combo, or actually it looks like he's playing safe. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Not sure I want to jump with that 8 ball right there. Do something stupid. I don't like those super kind of long kicks like at the 10. Especially considering the cue ball is going to end up down on this end of the table. Leave myself probably not a whole lot on the 12. So I'm double checking. Can I even see the 12? Oh, how about if I just take my cue and nudge the 8? So, I was like, yeah, I nudged it. Yeah, he didn't even see it. So I'm just being honest with him. Like, look, I nudged it. It barely moved. I barely moved it back. And if I remember correct, even when I looked at it again, I think I moved it a little more in my way. But all right, let's not hit the 8 ball. So I'm looking. I really want to do this in a 1 rail, but I don't think that's smart. You almost have to go 2 rails just to, I mean, it opens up, gives you a wider ball to hit. This is not a good place to be. It's too close to really jump. Like, I can't jump at the 10. I don't like kicking. I'm gonna double check myself. Do I even like it? I guess so. Field goal. Yeah, way off. Did not get it. Okay. Ball in hand, you got to start. Break this open. Because, I guess 7 does go to the top, right? Again, camera angles kind of mess with me. It almost looks like the 7 needs to go to the top left, crash into the 1 to open it up, but then that 5 could potentially tie up to the 6. If you can go this way, I like this move. Or if you really want to be a jerk, play a stop shot on the 7, get it to the rail, and leave the cue ball behind that 1-5. Okay. But he's happy my 12 ball was there now. A little stop shot here. Maybe pull back a little just so, yeah. Don't want to disrupt the 8 if you don't have to. This is also why I like the idea that he should have earlier went ahead and took care of that 2-3. Because now he's going to take care of the 5, the 6. Unless he can, I mean, and again, he's on the rail, so this makes it really difficult. If you can make this 5 and come back and then get the 2-3, leave the 6 as your out ball, that makes sense. But I don't think he's really leaving himself those shots. Like, his pattern's off. Guy's not missing shots. Man, I can't see what's spit. Top? Right, huh? Okay. So now he's got to cut the 2 to this low right. You need to be able to nudge the 3 ideally, because if you go cleanly by it, cue ball's going to go up table and leave yourself a much, much harder 3 ball. We shall see. Ooh, he's human. He missed the ball. Now I got to get out. Now I got to get out. Let's go. Center pocket. Whew, thank you. There we go. 2-2 on the hill. What am I doing with the camera? I don't know. All right, Ron, don't break and run on me. Ew, I don't think he's getting out of this. There's a cluster. Okay, so if you look at this, stripes are ugly, obviously. That 1 ball goes to the top left or this bottom right. Your hardest part is to get the 8 ball open. Like, even right now, I think I almost turn around and get that 5 in the side. There we go. Anyway, yeah, slow roll this up to the side. If you can get the cue ball up far enough to take the 4, that'd be fine. But I'm also okay with cleaning up this side of the table first. you can see me. I'm trying to work through the pattern real quick. Like I left myself perfect on the one where I can make it and still continue a run. It's not really a trouble ball, but it's kind of a trouble ball. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to run this. It's actually, I feel like the 8 goes to that top left. You just have to really be perfect on your leave. So I made sure I rolled up far enough so I can see the 4. I think I've got enough angle here. So I should be able to hit this side rail. So I'm looking at hitting the 1 and then crash into the 13. Like I'm gonna have to hit that with some speed, and then that should bump the cue ball to the right from this perspective. I'd have got a little too straight, but I think I need to be another ball to the left from this perspective. Too light. I hit that way too light, and look at this. Dang it. Ugh. I had it. So I sped this up because we're eventually, I think we're going to be calling in the, yeah, I'm double checking. Does this even go? That's the shot I'm going to take. I'm basically shooting straight into the rail, hard left, spinning into the 8. This ref cracked me up. He's like, he walks up. I was like, I'm shooting the 8 ball. And he said, okay. He's like, that's a nasty spot. I go, I know, I did it to my damn self. My bad. All right. Good news is I left the I left the 8 ball right by a pocket. So even if he tries to safe me, he's got to leave me one heck of a hard way to not jump it. I really don't know why I would not start with this ball here, just because that's not really an issue ball. Like the 15 or the 9 seem to be much harder. Maybe even the 13, even though the 13 is not hard because you can just stop shot the 12 into the side and then take 13 up. But I don't know how much chalk you need on a tip. But I promise you it's not 3 minutes worth of coding for one shot. I don't care what kind of chalk you use. Like he's just using the masters on the table, but man, just grinding it. You don't need that much chalk, brother. You need one coating. Like even me, I chalk every shot and it's just a whoop, whoop. Just I spin it and I give it like 2, 3 little swipes. Move on. Okay, so now he's gonna go and take the 12 into the right middle. Probably come back up off this head rail. Get off the road, give yourself a little breathing room. So the question is, what are you gonna do with that 9-15? Like, because you need to almost get behind him, I think, unless the 9 goes to the left middle. Because if so, you shoot the 10 as a stop shot. Go and take that 9 now. A little bit of a rattle on that one, but like I said, if it goes, take it now. And hit it clean. Good shot. Good execution, because now he can just roll this up 15 to the top right. Cue ball roll up behind the 13. Yeah, you'll leave yourself a longer shot, but whatever. As long as you're not like up on the ball, you give yourself a little breathing room. That's not a hard shot. And you can make that 8 ball from anywhere, so you don't even have to worry about it. Even like this. Got a little behind. Excuse me, a little bit of a back cut, but it is what it is. All right, Hill. 1 ball to win. Does he get it? Got to look at this like 3 times. All right, let's go. Barely touched the rail. That's gonna do it. I got beat by the snail. As long as it doesn't scratch. All right, yeah, he's clean. All right. So yeah, 2 to 3 on a race to 3. I just puts me on the backside. I'm not out of the tournament. Still got some more matches to come. And I mean, I've got content for days. Hope you guys enjoy this kind of variety. Do you guys like when I do a little APA, USAPL? Now I'm at an ultimate, which I thoroughly love. Ton of fun. I've got another one of those matches, and I don't know. Got to get through quite a few stuff before we get there. But for now, I hope you guys are enjoying. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, as I always hope you guys do, because it truly does help the algorithm. Help me get some publicity, get more people watching. Just please and thank you. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm trying to get some stuff going over there. But for now, let's just dive right into another video here shortly. I'll see you soon. Thanks.